Happy and fantastic day, dear children. Today we are going to see a gift of Chappals, question answers and book back exercise and summary of that. Okay. So a gift of Chappals summary first. Mridu goes to Rukumani's house. Mridu is a young girl living with her grandmother Tapi and grandfather Tata in Chennai. Mridu goes along with Tapi to her aunt Rukumani's place one afternoon. There she meets her cousin Lalli, Ravi and Meena. Everyone at Rukumani's house was glad to see Mridu. There was a thick bitter berry bush in the backyard. Ravi took her beside that. There was a small little kitten inside a torn football. The small creature was busy drinking milk that was kept inside a half shell of a coconut. Now, about the kitten. Meena informed Mridu that they have found the kitten outside their house in the morning of that day, but they must keep it as a secret. Otherwise, the grandmother will leave their house immediately. Ravi was upset that they were being taught to be kind towards animal, but when he was trying to do so, elders were screaming at them, calling the kitten a dirty creature. His grandmother was suspicious while he was taking out milk for the kitten from kitchen. He had to drink more than half of the tumbler to make her believe that it was for him. He also told Mridu that they have named the kitten as Mahendran. Mridu loved the name because it sounded real, unlike those cute ones you keep for the kittens. Ravi further added that its complete name was Mahendra Varma Pallava Punai and it is MP Punai in short. He informed her he should make it from its fur that it was a fine breed cat, a close relative of lion family like the one that Pallava kings used in their emblem. To this, Mridu giggled, which instigated Ravi to prove his knowledge about her history further. On his school trip to Mahabalipuram, he had seen statue of a lion and he firmly believed that it was the ancestor of that kitten. He proudly announced that his small kitten is a descendant of Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. He reminded Mridu of cats being worshipped in ancient Egypt. He believed it to be a descendant of cat goddess. The creech noise now. Right, Ravi was busy in making all proud announcements about his kitten when a weird sound, creech, came from the window. Mridu was shocked while Mahendran was frightened. Mahendran jumped with fear on a tray or red chilies kept under the sun for drying. With the creaking noise continuing on the background, Mridu inquired what it was. Ravi informed that it was Lalli learning to play the violin. Mridu peeped from the window and she found Lalli was holding the violin in an awkward position, sitting a bit away from her music teacher who had his back towards the window. The teacher was bald with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears. There was a gold chain in the neck and a ring on his hand. He had a big toe with which he was thumping the ground. He was playing the notes perfectly on the violin while Lalli was struggling hard. His tracks were filled with melody while Lalli continued missing the melody. Now the beggar. Children were having fun peeping from the window when Rukumani called Ravi to send the beggar away. She was fed up with the beggar coming to their place for a week now and wanted him to find another house. The beggar had made himself comfortable at the garden. He was leaning against the neem tree with the upper cloth spread over it. He was about to snooze when he heard Ravi asking him to leave. He was shocked hearing this and called for lady of the house. An irritated Rukumani told Ravi that there wasn't anything left in the kitchen and asked the beggar not to come again. Her voice was so loud that Ravi didn't have to repeat her words to the beggar. The beggar told them that he would leave after taking rest for a while. It was too hot outside and there were blizzards in his feet. The children were in pain seeing this and started making plans to give him chappals. Now, the gift. Real title of the story, The Gift of Chappal. The gift. Mridu remembered seeing a pair of old grey chappals while she had entered Ravi's house. She asked Ravi whom they belonged to. Ravi took the chappals and gave it to the beggar and asked him not to come again. The beggar went away wearing the chappals and blessing the children. It was a time for the music teacher to leave. He was looking for his chapel. He called Lali and they looked everywhere but didn't find them. Lali informed Rukumani about it. Rukumani questioned the children if they had seen anyone picking up the chapels. Rukumani was really angry and Mridu couldn't control anymore. She told her that they had given the music teacher's chapel to the beggar. Rukumani went inside and brought Gopu Mama's new chappals and gave them to the music teacher. The teacher was happy getting the new chappals, but still pretended as though it was tough for him to accept them. Rukumani, the loving mother. The teacher called Ravi a monkey, an incarnation of Lord Hanuman, which seemed clear that Rukumani didn't like. She wanted the teacher to leave immediately. After he left, she called the children home and offered them some snacks. She thanked God that go to office in Chappal, but needed them after coming home immediately. She wondered what she will tell him, giving a hint that she will take the blame of herself. Okay, so now part 1 question. This lesson, A Gift of Chapel, is basically two parts, part 1 and part 2. The summary of part 1 and part 2 we saw now. Now the part 1 question and answers. What is the secret that Meena shares with Mridu in the backyard? Meena shared the secret of having a kitten in the backyard inside a torn football lined with sacking and filled with sand. They found him outside the gate in the morning. How does Ravi get milk for the kitten? For getting milk for the kitten, Ravi told Party that he is hungry when she saw him with glass of milk. Party got suspicious, so Ravi had to drink most of the milk and told Party that he will wash the tumbler by himself. After that, Ravi ran and poured the milk into coconut shell and then ran back to wash the tumbler before. Party got really suspicious. Who does he say the kitten's ancestors are? Do you believe him? He said the kitten's ancestors was a Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, which was an emblem of the Pallava dynasty, and the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat was a descendant of cat goddess of Egypt. So do you believe him? No, I don't. I don't believe him. Ravi has a lot to say about MP Pune. This shows that 4 options are given. Which of these statements do you agree or disagree to? I agree to these statements. What are the statements? His knowledge of history is sound. He has a rich imagination. What was the noise that startled Mridu and frightened Mahendran? The sound of screeching startled Mridu and frightened Mahendran. It was a sound of violin that Lali was learning to play. Now part 2. The music master is making lovely music. Read aloud the sentence in the text that expresses this idea. The music master's notes seem to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. This sentence in the text that expresses the idea that the music master is making lovely music. Had the beggar come to Rukumani's house for the first time? No, the beggar had come to Rukumani's house for the first time because party said that he had been coming to their house every day for the past week, and it's time to find him another house to beg from. A sharp V-shaped line had formed between her eyebrows. What does it suggest to you about Rukumani's mood? V-shaped eyebrow is formed only when people are in anger. This suggests that Rukumani was very angry in mood when she came to know about the missing chappals of the music teacher. Now complete the sentence. Ravi compares Lalli's playing the violin to derailing of the train going completely off track. Trying to hide beneath the tray of chilies, Mahendran tipped a few chilies over himself. The teacher played a few notes on his violin and Lalli stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. The beggar said that the kind ladies of the household kept his body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. He couldn't believe that they would turn him away. After the lesson was over, the music teacher asked Lali if she had seen his chappals. Right? Describe the music teacher as seen from the window. As seen from the window, music teacher had the bony figure. He had mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck and a diamond ring glittered on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. What makes Mridu conclude that the beggar has no money to buy chappal? What does she suggest to show her concern? Mridu concluded that the beggar had no money to buy chappal because his feet were blizzard. She suggested Mridu and Ravi about the pair of old slippers so that they could give it to the beggar. Have you children? She began, and then, seeing they were curiously quiet, went on more slowly. Seen anyone lurking around the veranda? What do you think Rukumani really wanted to ask? Rukumani actually wanted to ask the children if they had seen the music master's slipper. What do you think Rukumani really wanted to ask his music master's chappal that we saw? Why did she change her question? She changed her question because children were curiously quiet and she suspected the children must have done something with chappals. What did she think had happened? She thought that the children had given the music master's chappal to that old beggar. On getting Gopu Mama's chappals, the music teacher tried not to look too happy. Why? The music teacher tried not to look happy because he did not want to reveal his happiness of getting new chappals of Gopu Mama to others. He wanted to show that his own chappal were more expensive and branded one. Actually, he was very happy after getting Gopu Mama's chappals. Right? On getting a gift of chappal, the beggar vanished in a minute. Why was he in such a hurry to leave? On getting a gift of chappals, the beggar vanished in a minute because he did not want to lose the gift of those chappal. His feet were blizzard and he couldn't have got anything better from that house. Right? Now, one more question. Walking towards the kitchen and Mridu and Meena, Rukumani began to laugh. What made her laugh? Gopu Mama always in such a hurry to throw off his shoes and socks and get into chappals as soon as he comes home. Rukumani began to laugh while thinking about the reaction of her husband after hearing this incident, and he can come to know that they had given us new chapel to the music teacher. So children, I hope you can able to understand this. Now read the following as If she knows we have a cat, Party will leave the house. Time is up, dear. We'll